this YouTube game. Everybody wants that YouTube fame, so they scam and they cheat just to make $1. Exploiting subs, trying to be a baller. Open your eyes, what do you see? All these fake cunts making money at the expense of their integrity. Well, nobody gives a fuck anymore to try to be anything but a scam and a money whore. Hi, I'm D. Martin. I found a site, it's really neat. CSGoLotto.com, I hope you can beat. To win some skins while my wallet grows fat and wide. Because I lied, I purposely left out that I own the site. Biblical Reaper, you fat cheat, you dishonest cunt. You tried to scam your subscribers into buying your lunch. Well, you pretend to cry and beg all your subs for some money. Then you buy a brand new phone, man, it's almost as funny as filling up a pickup truck of empty boxes. 10 million views.
Yeah, what's the motherfucking word, nigga? This for my empire, nigga. Shot-town, they thought we wasn't in town.
This is the almighty infinite, independent excellence. Devil fighting, rebel titan, weed smoking alchemist. Fake identity.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor and a pleasure to introduce, in my opinion, we'll get into this later, YouTube's most underrated artist, and I mean that with the up. Yeah, I mean that. None other than the great Leon Lush. What's happening, brother?
What's going on, Tommy? SFTP. Thanks for having me on, man.
Oh, and it's like I said, it's my pleasure, absolutely. Listen, the thing that I find interesting about you, we talked about this offline. You're a bit of, like, you have this whole thing going on where, like, you're an artist, but you look like you're the linebacker for the local high school football team. Like, what's going on with that? You know, I mean, it is. I've met guys like you before that have, like, they're multifaceted, they're multi-talented, but you do seem to have a jock vibe, and you're very much an artist as well. Where does that come from?
Well, I have kind of an interesting background. Like, obviously, the size that just came from my parents' genetics, which I thank them for. So that kind of put me into the jock football scene. But then I also grew up in a household where my mother was like an incredible concert pianist, and she was always like the leader of like church choirs and like music director. So I had that like musical influence my whole life at the same time. So I kind of kept that on the back burner, and I was like a high school football jock, fucking captain of the football team, played in the Shrine Bowl, All-Star game, and almost played in college, but didn't for reasons I won't get into. But yeah, I always had this at the same time, though. My father was like this huge nerd. Like, he was an electronic software engineer.
Oh, wow.
And he, you know, I was building web pages in HTML when I was like 12. I was playing online video games before anyone else had a cable modem except me in the neighborhood. So I've always had that kind of dual nerd / jock thing going on.
So you're literally a perfect split between mom and dad, and then that's where it comes from.
Pretty much, yeah. The music definitely comes from mom. But
you know, well, I think that you might be onto something, to be perfectly honest with you. Tell your kids to do nerdy stuff, play Dungeons and Dragons, and tell them to watch the NFL on Sunday.
That's exactly right, man.
It seems to be a good mix. You know, it's funny. My father was he's somewhat of an intellectual, and we watching Yankee baseball and stuff like that. We also, because my grandfather came from sort of working class background, so I think that both of it's pretty good. That's kind of interesting. Everybody knows that the biggest thing you do, the stuff that really gets people's attention, is your musical ability. You play multiple instruments. You're a tremendous editor, and you don't just go up and play guitar or something like that. You have tremendous equipment, judging by the camera you have right now, which is just like amazing. Congratulations!
Thank you. Just got a new streaming rig, and this is kind of my first time using it, with the exception of a little YouTube stream I did the other night. But
it's looking.
I'm happy to have it.
It's looking amazing. You look movie. It's movie like. What are your musical influences, whether it be, actually specifics, whether it be hip hop or jazz or rock? What gets you up? What gets you to write music? What are the artists that really you admire?
Well, it's interesting. I don't want to sound cliche and be like, oh, I love everything, like a lot of people say that. Yeah. But I'd say, with the exception of country music, which I'm not a big fan of, I don't hate people that like it. I understand why they like it. But I enjoy a lot of stuff, but I've gone through a lot of different phases. Like, growing up, like I said, I grew up in a classical household with a lot of classical music and a ton of gospel music. Like, a lot of people don't know this about me, but my family background is like very religious, which you would never know that from watching my videos.
I picked up on that. I disagree. I knew that because I thought you were from down south. That was just because I was shocked when you told me you were from the East Coast. So I did
Yeah,
pick up
man.
on it, but I didn't know quite what I was putting my finger on. But go ahead. I just wanted to be right.
But so anyway, so growing up, like I remember, like back in the early days, like my brother was 8 years older than I am. I would like sneak into his room and into his huge CD collection and like listen to Pearl Jam, Korn, all the Metallica albums, like Black Sabbath. So I kind of grew up with a lot of that shit, and especially in the football locker room, you're listening to all that heavy metal shit
Sure,
and stuff.
of course.
And,
Get going.
but then I'm like taking piano lessons on the side, like learning how to play Beethoven and all that shit. And I didn't stick with the piano lessons, unfortunately. I wish I had, because I had a free teacher and my mother. I was just kind of, that was a point in my life where I was like, oh, fuck music, man. I'm going to just fucking play football and blah, blah, blah. But
The more chicks playing football. It's easy to get chicks.
yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It's
Circle
like
back 15 years and here I am, like fucking making weird meme songs on the internet. But
Did you see?
But,
oh, sorry. Go finish.
no, so but that being said, as far as music, I've loved hip hop too. Like huge Biggie fan in the 90s, and then in the last 10 to 15 years, since music has become so more accessible, I try to listen to just a lot of shit. It's harder to say like you like one specific genre, just because every style of music is so accessible now with streaming and how available it is. So I like to listen to like a lot like newer electronic indie music and just anything that basically if I listen to it, it makes me feel good. That's how I know I like it. I don't really judge based on genre, really.
That's fantastic. Okay, but what about sports though? You're from the East Coast. Obviously you're a football guy. Is that still your favorite sport overall? Is that something you still? I mean, the NFL's made a lot of changes under Roger Goodell's leadership. Are you still with it? Because let me tell you something. My closest friend, Dead on Dave. He's a diehard Bears fan from the Chicago area. It just doesn't do it for him anymore. Do you feel the same way about the NFL, or are you just as passionate about football as you were when you were
saying
playing?
Specifically about the NFL, how like
Football
its
in general?
changes, or just the Bears not being able to make it to the playoffs?
Fuck Dave, yeah, right.
Fucking
No, I mean,
50.
are you passionate about it? Are you passionate about it like you were when you were playing, when you were really into it? Because I don't know, when I was playing hockey, I was thinking about the Rangers. I was thinking my own team. I was thinking about my inline hockey team. I was thinking about anything I could get my hands on as far as hockey was concerned. Does it still move you? Do you make sure? Do you catch the Patriots every weekend, no matter what, or is it only playoff time, or how does it go for you?
I would say so. Football is the only sport that really does still move me a little bit. Like other sports, I enjoy. I don't really make an effort to watch them unless I'm like going to a game. But with football, not as much as when I was younger and I was playing. Like that was obviously I related a little bit more to it. But it's always been something I try to see. Like one of the reasons I love football is because there's only one game a week for your team, so it's not a huge time commitment like fucking baseball. You'd be watching like 60 hours a week trying to keep track of the season. So, I'm not as passionate as I was, but it's not because of the way the game's changed. I mean, I know how it's gotten a lot different and now safer and all these new rules and shit, but I still every Sunday watching the Patriots play gets me fucking
Brady?
amped. And
you like Tom Brady? I can't. I'm starting to hear the Massachusetts. By the way, I'm starting to hear it. I didn't hear it.
It comes out sometimes. It's worse when I drink, so I'll try and keep it under control.
I watched your videos all damn day today with my kid, and I did not pick up that you were a masshole. You had to tell me before they did the show. So we're like enemies. We're
just
born
by
enemies.
design. Yeah, New York versus Boston, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable. Getting back into that, I always ask Boston fans this, and this is not me being rude. You grew up in a losing sports town. That is not the case anymore. The Boston Bruins have a title. The Patriots have plenty, except, when they played the Giants 10 years ago. That's okay, though. But
2 times, Tom. It happened twice, and I want to die every time I think about it.
And the Boston Red Sox even when they have down years, they seem to have impacts. What has that been like for you? Is it... I heard somebody from Boston say, I almost don't like the way it is now in the Boston area because I can't raise my kids the same way because we're winners. What does that mean to you? All these Boston teams just kicking ass.
I will
and taking
say,
names last
I try not
10
to
years.
take it for granted because I know there's people that have grown up their whole lives loving a sports team and never being able to participate in the finals or a world, or fucking Stanley Cup or a series or Super Bowl. So I feel very fortunate that I grew up when I did because, I was becoming a football fan before, the Brady Belichick era in the 90s, and they were pretty shit back then.
Yeah, Bledsoe.
Bledsoe, and, they made it to the playoffs.
I go way
or
back.
something,
I
but-
watched when you guys get your ass kicked by the Bears in '85. I remember that. I was only like 9 years old.
Do you remember that game in 85?
Yeah, I do. Clearly. My
85
dad,
Bears.
I remember my father said, those guys have no business with those guys. And, and it was
they
true.
didn't. The 85 Bears were unstoppable.
Yeah,
but,
unstoppable. But go ahead.
But it was so I feel like lucky to have grown up with it, and it's people call it title time. I mean, we have like 11.
I know.
It's like 12 or 13 titles between the four sports in the last 10 to 15 years, which is fucking absurd. So I just enjoying it. I know it's not going to last forever, though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just enjoying it.
Well, you never know. I mean, as long as you have Tom Brady. It's funny because I tell this story a lot to Boston fans. I was in basic training during the epic comeback, the down 3 games to none, first time done in Major League Baseball history, and been done in the minors before, where the Boston won 4 in a row after going down 3-0, which, if anybody knows in baseball, that's guaranteed. And I called my father. I was only allowed to call a couple weeks. My father said, "We're up 3-0. It's over." I was like, "Great, all right." So like 2 or 3 weeks went by, right? So I called. I was like, I asked. I finally got the balls up. You know, you did this in the Army. Like, this could be a problem. You asked the drill sergeant a question that was something going on in the outside world, and I just said, "Did the Yankees win the World Series?" Because I assumed, being up 3-0.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. It's just a completely reasonable question. I wasn't being an asshole. He looks at me. He goes, "Yeah, they won. They're World Series champions. Get the fuck out. No, push." I'm like, "Oh yeah, all right." So this is in late November. World Series is over. So I know what date it is. So when the World Series is over, right? So I finally get that call. So a month goes by, 2 weeks go by. I get to call my father again, right? So I was like, "So we won the World Series?" He's like, "No, we didn't.
No, absolutely not.
We lost 4 straight to Boston.
Gave up one of the most locked in fucking titles of all time."
But
I lost up 3-0.
I thought he was trolling me. I was like, "No, you didn't," because drill sergeant such and such. I was like, "No. The drill sergeant's trolling your ass, right?" And I remember how defeated I felt because I'm like, "Oh, Boston choked again." But I love telling that story. Like it was literally like it made basic training that much worse. All right, let me get into some other questions.
I can't imagine it gets much worse. So that must have sucked. Yeah.
Oh God, how could you do that to somebody? I thought we were in the World Series. Like you just say, we lost. Say Boston beat you 3-0. No, he knew that it would be more fucked up by the time I talked to my old man. He would, and I was arguing with my father. They're up 3-0. Yeah, I know. They lost the next 4. Yeah.
It was at the time. It was tough to imagine. I remember witnessing it. I was in college, and when we won that series, the ALCS, it was that celebration was bigger than the World Series. Honestly, at my campus, just because of how fucking monumental it was.
Of course, because you were not going to lose. Like it was like the 1980 Olympic team, the hockey team. They were not going to lose insane. The next round.
A bunch of drunk college kids fucking hanging from trees, flipping cars for no fucking reason. It was like,
but anyway, that's what okay. Let's see. Let's get into something.
Listen, I wanted to apologize first off that I don't have a fucking half-naked ginger behind me keeping everyone entertained.
I was about to talk about him a little bit. I'm going to skip that.
I saw Bunty's interview and I was like, well, I can't follow that up with something better, so I'm just going to have to do like just normal bare bones interview.
The funny thing about Ginger is he has some kind of wrestling podcast, and Dead on Dave's obviously a big wrestling guy. That bugged me out, to be honest with you, that he's like a
I didn't even know he was a huge wrestling fan, Ginger.
He's got a reasonably big podcast, 4 Jobbers or something like that. I heard it's pretty good. Yeah. You know? Listen,
let me. Awesome.
Something happened to you this past week. That's near and dear to my motherfucking heart. You and Bunty, speaking of, went up against Keemstar. Keemstar. I'm gonna let you tell the story, but here's what I gather. Okay, you've replied to his videos. And he's decided to, play his "I'm going to silence you" game by referring to you as reply girls or something like that. The thing is, it's typical Keem. You had something to actually add to the conversation. He was just dismissing it. What went into this, and how did it work out for you in the end, at least on Twitter?
Well, hold on a second. Sorry.
Yeah, I lost you for a second.
Yeah, I'm back. Back. Fucking. So this is the deal. Like I've had kind of like my riffs with Keem before. I've made like a diss track on him months ago when he called me a faggot on his live stream. It's all shit like in good fun. And then like I don't like to aggressively go after causing problems with people. And obviously Keemstar is the biggest target for negative attention. That's kind of like how he's made his career is off of negative attention. But and then I see him making this tweet about calling me and Bunty, or he didn't even refer to Bunty by name. He just said, "This is Indian guy trying to be like me," which I thought was cute. But just about how we're like reply girls and we're only doing this to get like views and follows, and talked about Ricky as well. And I know he's got like this dynamic with Ricky, which is, I think it's a little bit different now. Understand, like Ricky's my boy.
Yeah, no, he's.
But Ricky also tweets a lot more than me and Bunty do, and that's just a fact. So he was like kind of lumping us in together, which is fine. Ricky does what he does, and I think everyone has their opinion on him. I think he's a good dude. I know him personally. I think he's a cool dude.
I think he's a good dude too.
And I'm always going to stick up for him. But he's just kind of lumping us all in together as like these people that just post these fucking spammy like Twitter videos, which to me is bullshit. Because looking through my history, it was like, all right, I definitely have done a lot of Twitter video, but most of the threads are with people I'm mutually friends with. I don't think I've ever put a video response on a Keemstar tweet at all. So that was just what I don't know. I just feel like he threw us in there just to stir the pot a little bit.
That's funny. It's funny you said it because I never begged for money on stream. But go ahead.
Well, I feel like Keemstar says people do a lot of things when maybe in reality they haven't done them. But anyways, like it's not like you have to understand. I'm not like up at night losing sleep over this shit. Like Keemstar can think whatever the fuck he wants about me. I think it's a fun opportunity to kind of fucking rip a little banter back at him and. It went,
honestly, the way I saw it is like he's not looking to rip banter. It's not a friendly hand thing for him.
That's what I can't figure out with him. Like I go through phases where I'm like, all right, this dude's genuinely like butthurt or like an asshole or really hates me. But I also wonder like if he is just that good of a fucking troll or an actor. I can't figure him out. Now, I think at the end of the day, I've kind of talked about, and obviously you have your pretty strong feelings about him, and I see where those feelings come from because he certainly comes off as someone that just, I don't know. I mean, if you saw the video, so you know kind of how I feel about that situation.
Say it. I got debated podcast because I made video tweets against him, so to speak. Say it. Speak your mind. Spit it.
Yeah, I just I think he'd be very difficult to work with. So the way Baited ended up between you and Clown, like that to me was how it was going to end, no matter what.
Yeah, well,
just because it's Keemstar, and from what I know, like I said, I don't know him personally, but from everything you see on the internet about him, he's just a guy willing to do anything and say anything to keep his name in other people's mouths, and he'll go to whatever length he feels necessary to make sure that he's always the topic of discussion and always at the forefront of everyone's fucking.
He is good at that. I'll give you some insight on that. I don't even think that's like a deliberate or even well thought. I think when he gets pushed in a corner, he says, "Well, yeah, that was my idea all along," and that's usually when he's cornered. I honestly think, and I did this. I just dealing with this. Esports owner, Kostif, and I've had other. I've dealt with Nick Cash, who I'm cool with. David is gaming go. The tactic is always the same, and it was basically the same tactic with you and Bunty. You don't have the right to talk, and the only reason you're doing this is views. It's a non-argument. It's not an argument. Any kind of criticism, because what it does is you have a criticism for Keemstar or any other YouTuber for that matter. You can apply this to any big YouTuber. You have a criticize. Yeah. The response is you're only doing this for views, and then you're just like, oh no, I'm not doing this for views. I have this, and you've already been taken off course. And the way you dealt with it. And saying where he put you in a place where that you were irrelevant, that you had nothing. It's like, well, if I'm irrelevant, then what does that make you? FouseyTube's lying and bullshitting people for the past 4 or 5 years, and he's got you out subbed. I mean, it was just so brilliantly put, and I didn't even think of putting it that way, and it forced him back into the conversation if he wanted to engage. Is the only thing he had to do is address that. I thought that was really well done, to be honest with you. Because
I think that was the thing. I made this video, and his immediate response, his immediate go-to was, "Oh well, Leon, you've been losing YouTube forever. Your channel's old. You have 20,000 subs, and I have like 1 million times your views. So obviously, I'm way better than you." And like I understand, like business-wise, like you have a more successful YouTube career than I do. That's fine. I also took 5 years off, so the whole like 8 years thing. Is a little bit irrelevant, but that being said,
my channel's 10 years old. I didn't start uploading in 2012. That is completely irrelevant.
But my argument was never about who's a better entertainer, who's better at YouTube. It was simply about like kind of how you compose yourself and how you act, not only online or I guess online, but because that's the only way I know Keemstar. But I have to imagine, like, I feel like for me, like a lot of people, they watch my videos, they see my streams, you get to know me, like you're kind of getting a pretty good representation of what I'm like in real life. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like with Keemstar, that's kind of the case too. Like he's kind of YouTube's biggest cunt. So some of that has to translate into real life, right? Like, I'm sure he's amicable. And like, I honestly think I could be in a room with him and get along fine with him. And we could have a couple beers and fucking whatever. But it's just like, at the end of the day, he's just a bit of a fucking cunt. Mm-hmm. And the whole thing with the video, the whole thing for him calling me out with the reply videos. Listen, Twitter video, this has kind of become this thing. I don't know why. Like, first of all, video on every social network is kind of the emerging fucking medium to express yourself, right? YouTube's been there forever, and Twitter's slowly catching up. But I saw that to be like a good opportunity to kind of build a little bit of facial recognition, be able to make shorter memes in video form, and like, it doesn't have to always be pictures of a Doge or people tweeting my name is Jeff, right? I want to get a little more creative than that on Twitter. So gotcha. I'm not going around tweeting fucking irrelevant bullshit videos to every big YouTuber.
I gotta stop you. I gotta stop you. You're falling for you're answering his anything for views thing. You're falling for the red herring. That doesn't. It doesn't matter. You're allowed to do it. If you want to get your face out there and got to do it, you can take advantage of it. You don't have to fucking answer to goddamn Keemstar. I mean, that's what Keemstar wants to do. He wants to silence you. I had this whole thing with this guy Kostif, this esports guy, and everything comes down to there's no relevant argument against me. Even though they're public figures, even though they have the blue check mark on Twitter. So don't get an argument. Like I would not. I'm giving you advice to you. If you get in these arguments, these anything for views arguments, or you're only doing it for this views argument, you already won. You already won the argument because they're not willing to address the criticism. And that's what it is. So what happens is you start justifying yourself, which is exactly what you're doing right now. You're justifying. You can make as many fucking Twitter videos as you want.
Yeah.
And guess what?
This is the thing. Like, and I know that, and I get a lot of good feedback, and a lot of people that follow me enjoy, the banter that I have with Bunty and Sear and the other videos that some are made with just my phone, some I produce on my computer and then upload to Twitter. So I've not for a second have thought to change course of what I'm doing. I just thought I needed to at least respond to it in video form, which I did. So I'm not going to sit here and defend myself or really go that much farther into it. Okay. But as far as the Keemstar thing, I think it was just. For me, it's a fun opportunity to kind of fucking get with him. Spit some heat his way.
It actually worked out pretty well for me because that's how it all started for me. The only thing I really had a problem with is he pretends to be a friend to Ricky, and to sit there and call him we put up with Ricky because he's a retard. Ricky's not a retard. He's not. He has a terrible disability, but he's not a fucking retard. And it's just I think you want to know who he is. That's who he was. That's the person I know. That can't like you gotta in order to bash you, he has to fucking take a shot at Ricky. That's who Keemstar is, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think I don't like for me, like obviously I've made songs about Ricky, I've talked about his cripple, his handicap, I made fun of him, but sure. I do it in a way that's I'm making a meme out of him, I'm not demeaning him. And in my discourse with Ricky, like I treat him with fucking respect. He is a human being at the end of the day. Yeah, he has a fucking disability, but he's a nice kid and he's doing what he can with what he's got, and like that's fucking commendable.
Does a pretty good job. So. He's got more Twitter followers than both of us, to be honest with you. So that's one of the things. It's funny because I met him and he encouraged me to open up a Discord, and oh god, I think he had a few hundred followers within 2 weeks. He was ahead of me, and I got 20-something thousand now, I think, and he's blown away by that. So Ricky's doing something right. And he's not a retard. He's actually a pretty bright guy. And that's actually I have this question for you. Your relationship with Ricky, you have made music videos about Ricky. That's when I first actually got to notice you. You were talking about it was a brilliant friggin' song, and you actually sing in there and you play piano. It's fucking amazing, dude. Like what is your relationship with Ricky?
Ricky, so no matter wherever my fucking life takes me, my YouTube channel takes me in the next 3 or 4 years, I don't know what's gonna happen, but Ricky will always be the cripple that I made songs about on Twitter that kind of got me started. Now he likes to say that he made me, but I think I made myself just using him as a subject matter. But no, we've had a fun banter. I mean, literally, I remember him before he had like 1,000 followers on Twitter. He somehow magically appeared on my fucking Twitter feed.
Oh, what's that?
And I was like, oh god, gross. And then
what's that?
What's
that? Ricky, is that you?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Can you hear that? Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I think we're having a problem. You're going to have to call the line. Can you hear Ricky, Leon?
Hello. I can't hear Leon.
No, Leon, can you hear Ricky?
I can't hear Ricky.
All right. Well,
I can hear Leon.
Yeah. Guess what? I'm sorry, Ricky. You have to call the line because we're having Discord's fucked. I'm sorry. Well, this is the last time. You were the last person to call the show on Discord. That's not on a game stream. I apologize completely. Yeah. Sorry. Well, no. This is the second time this happened, and not only that, my settings are correct this time. I was going to sneak Ricky in there. Oh, I apologize. That kind of fell flat on my face there. But there must have been some kind of change to take place in Discord where they can hear you, but you can't hear them. and I don't know why. So more testing.
Listen, Tommy, that's what happens when you get a new computer, man. Everything fucking changes.
I know. That's what I'm going through, and you know what? It's funny, like when I've gotten new. Yeah, it's just I don't want to fucking bitch about that. I do want to bitch about it, but I don't want to bitch about it. But I'm really, Ricky, we really love you. It would really been super funny to put you on. But we're gonna take calls, but we're gonna call on the 718 number. So I do apologize ahead of time if you want to talk to Leon. We're gonna do that. All right. Something about Baited. I want to get on Zoe Berger. Yeah. You had very strong opinions about Zoe Berger's appearance on Baited. And I'm not talking about what happened between you and me because that's like fucking water under the bridge.
That was nothing.
Yeah, that was nothing. I'm mildly concerned about that. And you were very apologetic. You made a video. I didn't even know you made a video and apologized on one of your main videos. So no, I didn't even know. I didn't know that till today. I'll be honest with you. So I mean, I don't even want to go over that. It's just some stupid shit. And you were very gracious about the whole thing. Do you really think she's bad for Twitch? Do you really think she's bad for YouTube? Or
no, I don't think so. Listen, I've kind of gone through different phases of how I feel about the whole e-girl situation. Sure. Now, I don't like all of this like blind hate, just hating on these girls that are flashing their tits in their ass for money or views or streams, whatever. Just hating them for the sake of doing that, I think, is retarded. I mean, like I said in my video, like we are the reason this culture exists, right? We're a fucking pornography, sex addicted culture. And the reason these girls could become so successful doing this is because we're watching them, not necessarily me or you, but all the hundreds, the millions of subscribers that willingly chose to subscribe to Zoe's channel are watching these people do this. So, I mean, they're going to get hate on the way, but do I agree? Like if she was my daughter, I probably wouldn't want her doing this, but
either.
Like you could say that about any girl that's fucking posting revealing pics on Instagram or getting into porn or whatever. And I've gotten to know her a little bit and she seems, she's a nice enough chick.
She's all right.
I have nothing personally against her, but it is that I think in my initially when I was talking about the thing on Baited where it was like she had said something about how she was paving the way for feminism or something because she was. I was like, all right, let's fucking put the brakes on a little bit. Let's.
That took me off guard as well. That took me off guard as well. But I think if I had to defend you, her appearance on Baited did nothing for the women's rights movement or even anything relevant. But I think the way she meant it, if I had to defend her, if I was going to, thank you very much for the donation. Wow. Between the music production, research, and filming, editing is what is the distribution of time spent on your videos. All right, that's a good question. Glitch Pro had a question for you, and he sent me $15, so I got to ask you, how much time does it take you to put everything together? That's a good question.
It definitely varies, obviously, but for the most part, the filming is the easiest part, and depending on the video, like oftentimes I'll spend about 45 minutes to an hour doing like some bullet points or doing a little bit of research if I'm talking about something a little more serious. And then the filming, I'll do a couple takes that maybe take, half an hour, 40 minutes. And it's always the editing that takes a long time I think for most YouTube creators. It gets a lot of the stuff's tedious, but it's fun, but it gets tedious. You're doing a lot of the same repetitive tasks over and over again. But, I would say like on some of my like 10-minute plus videos, the editing has taken anywhere from like 6 to 8 hours, sometimes maybe closer to 10 on some of the longer ones. But the most recent video I just did, it was more of like an ad lib off the cuff, like camera setup like I'm doing now. I was responding to some tweets people had sent me, and that one still took about 3 hours to edit, but a little bit less. So for me, it's hard it's been unrealistic to like shoot, edit, and post a film in one day. Usually it takes me at least like a day or two of like 3 or 4 hours.
Your camera quality or your lens quality is what you're really telling me offline. It shows you really put a lot into it. One more before your really tough question, because I did tell you got a really, really tough personal question coming up.
Hell yeah.
Sure. And I didn't, and Zaptai, I want to tell Zaptai something. I didn't prep him ahead of time, so he's tougher than you. No, I didn't prep Zap either, but he wanted me to a little bit. Mostly because to protect his ID and stuff, which I completely understand. Are you a commentator, YouTube commentator, or are you a musician?
Is that
what do you see yourself as in YouTube? Are you?
I'm a musician first. That will always be my main driving force, is like that creative side of me. Is the music is where it's always been my creative outlet. But this commentary community has now become a second place where I'm now able to not only use that musical portion that I really love to tap into, but also it's allowed me to, I guess, be a little bit more myself. Like, I don't know. I kind of found the community by happenstance, and then watched a bunch of videos, got to know some of the people. And I was like, listen, everyone here just doesn't give a fuck. A lot of these people are just really cool and laid back. And I think for years, and this may sound stupid, but like I was filtering myself and not really tapping into my true sense of humor because I was afraid of what like my family would think and my parents would think.
Okay. I wonder.
And I still haven't really had that conversation with them. I know my dad like has my fucking Twitter account and shit, and it's whatever. I don't care. Like, I'm going to be myself. Sure. I care about them a lot. So I care about their opinion of me. And I know coming from their background of a very pure of heart, religious affiliation, I know they're probably praying for me as we speak. So
I have a similar problem.
That was my only hesitance. But now that I've been doing, I'm like, you know what? I was so tired of trying to pretend like I was someone that I wasn't. So I'm just a fucking degenerate meme maker, man. At the end of the day, I think we kind of all are.
I have a similar problem. I don't know if my father watches. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. It was the same thing when I was playing guitar when I was a kid. You know, and you know, playing the state. Like he grew up on Ellington and Count Basie, and he was happy I was playing guitar, but he was embarrassed that I was playing rock and roll at the same time. Because sophisticated musicians. So I mean, he's happy for me, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I have the same thing. Like, I don't want him to watch and hear me say cunt and fuck up, vagina or something. I don't. I have a similar thing, and I don't come from a religious family. I mean, they're Catholics, but they're not. I get the feeling you're not Catholic, and it's a little more religious than what I grew up with.
Yeah, well, we're like Protestant, so less traditional Catholicism, but still very, you know.
Yeah. It's not different. Well, it's funny. The Catholics are the uptight. Of super religious types in Europe, and they're looser in America. It's completely reversed. The Protestants are laid back, and I find the Protestants a little more uptight here. It's a different conversation for a different time. Here's your tough question.
Now, I will say real quick. I will say my parents, though, I put them on blast for like being religious. They're like the kindest, most accepting people in the world. I feel really extremely blessed to have grown up with the people there. They've always been like, listen, we're going to love you no matter what, and that's it. So that's what I grew up with, and I don't take that for granted.
I didn't think you were putting them on blast. I don't think I was either, but I know the discomfort you can have when you say dirty words and you're performing for young people. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I don't think you put them on blast at all. I think you're very respectful. And but okay, here's your really, really tough question, and then we're going to take some calls. All right, you're a talented guy. All right. You hear this all the time. I know this. Yeah. You should have more subs. You should have sports. It's probably the most thing. The thing you hear the most is you have so much. You can sing. You can rap. Your editing is first rate. You can play an instrument. Your editing is better than some guys that have a million subs in edit. You have high quality cameras, right? Does it frustrate you to see YouTubers get big, start maybe later than you? Start earlier than you, simply by being outrageous, or maybe in my case, like catching a brace. Does that frustrate you, or how do you handle that? Because I mean, everybody's got an ego, bro. You know, of course. That's my tough question to you. How do you answer it?
I think it used to frustrate me a little bit more than it does, but I've kind of come to like, it's a funny thing. Like, for me, like everything that happened, in my opinion, like. The reason I'm not at 1 million subs or 2 million subs is because of me. It's my own fault. I stopped doing YouTube. I took a break for 5 years. I never put out content consistently, all these things. And I've maybe accumulated like nicer equipment and stuff over the years. And I've been able to spend all these years practicing and getting better at editing and music and stuff like that. But the reason I'm not bigger on YouTube is because I didn't put the actual effort into YouTube that needed to be there up until a little bit recently, where I've started to grow, you know, a little bit. But yeah, of course, we look around and we see the Pro Gamer Jays and these Lispy Jimmies that are, you know, they're raking in 40, 50 grand a month, making just absolute garbage, right? Yeah. So a little bit of that is like, it doesn't upset me as much as it just kind of bewilders me, I guess. And I understand why, you know, they're gaming the system a little bit, and I understand why it's working, you know, because no matter what YouTube is going to do with their algorithm or with their site, there's always going to be loopholes and ways people can exploit it. And as far as, you know, of course, I've compared myself to other people. Like, you look at, you know, a channel that's at like 6 million subs and you're like, oh, fuck, I'm never going to be that big. Why should I even try? Right. It's easy to think that. Or even if someone's like right today thinking like, oh, I really want to start a YouTube channel, but Jesus Christ, look at all these huge YouTubers. How could I ever? That's all. Those are all just bullshit excuses and cop outs. Like,
I got you.
if you want to do it and you want to make it happen, like, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
So that's what I used to be in the excuse making game, right? Oh, I didn't have time, or I was doing this or doing that. And I'm like, there's really whatever your situation is, and everyone has their own unique situation, whether you're a kid in high school that has the whole summer off to do nothing but make videos, or you're an adult that's married with a kid, living in Germany like yourself, or like myself. I'm an adult, I'm married. I don't have a kid yet, so I don't have that responsibility, but I work 50 hours a week. And it's like, listen, if you want to fucking grow on YouTube, you're going to have to make content consistently. So if you want to do it, you're going to stay up till 3 a.m. making videos and being active online. And if you don't do that, then you have no one to be upset about, or you have no one to be upset at except yourself. So I guess to answer your question, it doesn't upset me, man. I think I try to reframe it that, you know what, I'm glad people are successful on YouTube, because that gives me the availability to at least have a shot, gives me the chance to have a shot at it because other people have done it before me. So when I see other people that are doing well, man, I wish them the best. And when I see people doing well because they make garbage, that maybe doesn't sit as well with me, but that's just how it is, I think, in any industry.
Are you
really.
sure you're not Catholic? It's all your fault?
Yeah, no Catholic guilt here, man.
Well, I tell you something. There is, and I think that's the way, whether you believe that or not, which I do think you do. That's the only way to look at it. And Pro Gamer J don't bother me one iota. That's what I mean. I'm not going to lose sleep over. Look, I don't think I'm as talented as you. You can do it all, but I'm objectively more talented than that prick. And
Right.
I can understand. I can understand what you do. But you know what? Here's what I learned about doing hockey for years. Hockey's not popular. YouTube drama is, and it grabs.
Yeah.
So I mean, it does pull us in this direction to perform for this audience that is so eager. It's just a market thing, really. At the end of the day, it's a market thing, and this is the biggest market on YouTube, or maybe the easiest way to get through to it. So I mean, I think the fact that you're showing your talents in this area, the commentator community, which I think is the most. I think we're the best as far as, because we're mean, but we're interesting. There's something always popping. There's something always going on, and I wanted to answer that question to see your response is what I thought it would be, because you can't worry about the Pro Gamer Jays, and you know what, they'll come and go more than likely. I mean, that was a really neat trick he pulled. I was impressed, but the thing that really impressed me is one of your videos. And you were talking about that. I guess the video when a guy blows his brains out and lives to tell about it, or something like that. Which is a fantastic video, and I highly recommend anybody to check it out. But you said, you know why they do it? Because it works, and they're pros. Yeah. And the bottom line at the end of the day is to put money on the table. Now, I would disagree with their tactics. There is a limit to that. There's got to be a limit to that. Even I think there's a limit to it, and I'm pro making money at this game. There's got to be a limit. But I really like the way you said that. You're like, you know why? Because it works, and you're honest.
Right.
And I think, honestly,
so that's why, like, I tried in that video, I tried to break it down. Like, listen, what these guys doing is kind of scummy. The content shit. But at the end of the day, like, I understand why they're doing it, and I don't blame them for it, to be honest.
I get it, Tim. Are you ready for your? I guess Discord's not going to work for me anymore, and I don't know why. But are you ready for your calls?
Yeah, man. Do a call.
All right. 718-395-7660. 718-395-7660 to call Shop at the Point and talk to Leon Lush. 408. You're
baby.
On the air, baby.
Here come. Gates open. Bring on the trolls.
480. You on the air. Buddy.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, we got something for
man?
Leon Lush?
Yeah, man, I just want to say that I love your videos, man. You make great content, and to be honest, bro, you make way better content than 3/4 of YouTubers who are fucking giants. So I just want to say good work to you, man. Keep up the good work, bro.
Nice
All
comment.
right, man. I appreciate that.
Tommy,
it means a lot.
Love SFTP. You're fucking great, man.
Thanks, brother. I really do appreciate that, man. That means a
Appreciate
lot
the
to
vote
Leon,
of confidence, dude. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, sir. We'll keep
It's a
the
good
calls
start,
going.
Tommy. It's a good start.
Yeah, it's a good start. I mean, but the thing is, like, you want the trolls and you don't want the trolls, because you want to keep it interesting, but at the same time, that was a really nice way to open it. But I do have trouble getting to like talking to these folks because they're telling me, and it's such a weird thing. They're telling me how much they dig what I'm doing, and it's like I got to do a show. It's really frustrating. So you don't want to sound like a dick,
Right.
But it's a funny balance, like, because I've let people go and like that. That guy was just on and off. He was perfect, but I've let people go like that, and they don't stop. I mean, they don't
They
stop.
just keep going.
They just
Yeah.
keep going, and then I got to radio, and then like I got to cut them off, and then they say, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you, a dick?" You know, I'm sitting there saying nice things about you. I'm like, "Yeah, but you've done it for the last 5 minutes."
we got a show.
806.
It is a live show, so it's a little different.
Yeah, it's
you
a
know
little
what I mean?
weird. It's weird, you know, in the world. Of
I do
game
want to
streaming.
say it's one of the things over the past several months. Like it's crazy to me. Like I try not to take it for granted. I know like it's so easy to be like, oh man, I only have 20,000 subscribers. Like look at all these guys pulling millions of views, all this money. But like I'm so fucking appreciative
Yeah,
for
I
the
know what
fact
you
that
mean.
even you know what I'm saying. The small like comparatively the small amount of people that follow me and watch my content and appreciate it. I'm so appreciative for that, man. That's like I never want to take that for granted. Like whether it's 10,000 subs, 20,000 or 20 million. It's fucking awesome. And like just hearing people say stuff like that really means a lot to me. And like, I think it's cool. You know, I don't expect people to appreciate what I do, but when they're vocal about it, it means a lot. So it makes me want to keep doing it. So that's nice.
You know
Stuff-
what? I think that's important for you and me, especially. I mean, the fact that you have 10,000, even 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. So that means some people give a shit. And you do have sort of an obligation.
It's so easy to lose sight of what that means.
That's
like
true.
I was like,
No,
I
you're
posted a video yesterday, and like overnight, it got like 5,500 views, right? And I'm like, if this was in real life, that would 5,500 people would fill up like a huge high school auditorium, right?
That's true.
And that's everyone willingly choosing to click on a video or listen to what I have to say, and that's pretty incredible, man. It's the power of the internet, and I think it's easy to lose sight of that, but it's I always want to kind of not take that for granted and just appreciate
I
the
think
fact
that's the
that-
most profound thing you've said in this interview. I'll be honest with you, and it's something I have to keep focus on because I'm losing a little bit right now, and
Yeah.
that hits home with me because you don't want these people to think for a minute that you don't give a shit. 806, you're on the air.
Oh, Leon, I love your videos. I love them. Fill my ass with cummies.
Sounds
He
good, dude,
waited.
as long as you're
I had
18.
him on the line for like the whole speech, and he said, "Fill my ass with cum."
As long as you're 18, I will dump a fat one in your ass.
Fill my ass with cummies.
Oh, that guy, turn your radio down or turn your 440.
dude.
You're on the air. I better not hear myself.
Gay jokes make the world go round.
3-1, Cavs. Fuck the Warriors. Fuck Steph Curry. Fuck Steph Curry. No, I'm pulling up.
What are they talking about? Basketball?
I think so.
I don't think I ever talk about basketball. 14,
Fuck Steph Curry.
424
Hello?
on the air.
Hi.
Hi. You're on with
What's
Leon
up?
Lush. Yeah, what's up, man?
What's
You're
up,
on with
dude?
Leon Lush,
How's it
brother.
going?
Ricky Broick here. What's going on, Leon?
Yeah!
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I didn't notice you at first. It's terrible.
I'm passing you in subs. Almost.
Yeah, dude. That's because
Fucking night.
you get the fucking sympathy subs, dude.
Terrible. Where's your sympathy subs? Fat.
Listen, Tommy, you told me you weren't taking any calls from cripples, dude. You lied before this interview.
You're a fucking tomato.
Yeah, let me tell
I'm
you
just
something.
kidding, dude.
He
We
just
love
hung
you,
up. He called you a tomato and he hung up. You know, Ricky does have, like, your song really boosted him. It was almost like he wrote that song, you know?
Yeah, I pretty much made him. I don't know what he's
I don't know what
talking
he's
about.
talking about. He made you, Ricky. Ricky's such a great guy,
Yeah.
man. And actually,
No, I'm just
unknown phone caller, I'm bracing.
Yo,
Yo,
what's up?
Leon Lush.
he's there.
Hey man,
He's
what's
here.
happening?
I love you guys, man.
I love you too, man.
But,
Where are you calling from?
I have one question to ask.
Sure.
Why don't you follow AJ on Twitter?
What?
Oh, is this who is it? AJ?
AJ. AYY. J.
Is this you? Are you asking why I don't follow you on Twitter?
Oh, fuck.
I'm not.
I had to blow my somebody out.
Chuck, you're dropping bombs.
Because you're fucking boring. That's why. Oh, God, let's take a guy. I like taking New Jersey calls because I'm from New Jersey. 908, you're on the air.
Hey, Tommy.
Who's this?
Huh?
Hey, you're on with Leon. Talk to Leon. I'm interrupting him too much.
All right.
People are saying. Talk to Leon.
I wanted
up,
to
dude?
ask you guys a question.
Go ahead.
So
Sure.
yesterday in your stream, Tommy,
Yes.
you guys were talking about like clickbait and how people always like point at you for like clickbaiting. What's the whole like problem with it? You want to make your thumbnails look appealing, your titles seem appealing, because it's marketing. You want to show what it is and promote it in a way that people are going to want to click on the video.
Leon?
Yeah. So I think inherently, I don't think there's anything wrong with appealing titles and thumbnails. Clickbait's there's just so much gray area, right? There's like a middle 90% where I think it's cool and you should do it and you should do everything you can to make your thumbnail clickable. And then there's the lower 10% where you suck at making thumbnails. No one's going to watch your shit. And then the upper 10% is like that Lance Stewart where you're exploiting your girlfriend's ass. You're lying in the title about cutting your arm off.
And it's
all
never
these
in the
things.
video.
So,
Yeah.
what's that?
Yeah, it's never in the video.
They're using it to like get views, and then people are watching the whole video, and they're like, "Well, what did I just click on? It wasn't what I saw in the thumbnail."
You click on it, and it ends up being a 30-minute vlog, and maybe there's like a 7-second clip of him touching his girlfriend's ass, and I guess you can't say it wasn't in the video, but I don't know, like, and so that's the thing. Like, I guess it works fucking so well, though. That's the problem. Like, these guys are making so much money. So, like, I understand why they do it. For me, it's like I think it really comes down to every individual creator, like how far you're willing to go, whether it be your ethics or your morals. Like, how badly are you willing to exploit, either your girl or whatever, or just try and take advantage of your viewers to get them to click on your video and then not deliver on what the thumbnail's about. But it's just there's so much gray area. I get why people do it, and I mean I do it a little bit in my videos too, kind of a little bit ironically sometimes. But yeah, I think you should definitely try and make your shit appealing. And when you're up against a billion other YouTube videos, you don't want to have a thumbnail that nobody's going to have interest in. So
if I had to,
I
mean, I have a problem with misleading thumbnails. Clickbait thumbnails, I don't. Well, if my job as a YouTuber is to get you in there, I should be making clickbait thumbnails. The problem is what you're hearing is people using that as an excuse to say, well, the only reason you're doing this is because you're clickbait. The only reason you're doing that. I get the accusation all the time. I do, 45 minute to an hour podcast every day, and I talk about what's in the title, and I've never said I had but so I still get that accusation. So my advice to you, sir, is to take the clickbait accusation with a grain of salt, because a lot of times it's just a way to sort of demean a YouTuber and shut him up and what have you. It's just really nothing
just
to
like
it.
Keem likes to do.
Yeah,
for me,
the way to
ultimately,
shut
it
people
comes
up,
down to the video itself. If the video is good, like people are going to forget about the clickbait. If the video sucks, they're going to call you out for clickbaiting.
Bingo. No, there's some truth in that. I mean, the ultimately, that's the market decides at the end of the day, and I'm all for the market deciding. I'm a big Donald Trump capitalist pig. Thanks for calling, man. Really good one. Oh, man, I have to get out of here. You know why? Because I'm going to record Catch 33 with Clown and Dave.
You got another episode tonight?
Yeah, we're going to try to. We were supposed to knock one out last night, but Dave's internet actually went down hard.
Come on, Dave. Jesus
Christ.
It wasn't his fault.
Dropping
the ball, dude.
I believe me, I'd be the first guy to say it was his fault. I'd be absolutely the
first
guy.
This is episode 2, right? Or
What's
3?
that? Yeah, it's episode 2. Do you like the last one?
Yep.
To be honest, I mean, because you were very opinionated about Baited the whole way too. Do you like the new?
I was. I did. I thought I think it was fucking cunt with the camera. It was 45 minutes. I enjoyed it. It wasn't, it was easy to listen to. Everyone had some good points. I thought Dave played a nice role in it. Him being the new addition to that dynamic between you and Clown. So I think you guys have a pretty good future with the show, man. And Vega fucking crushed it with the YouTube video too. It was insane.
Amazing, right? He's going to be redoing all my stuff over here too, and
yeah,
and that's yeah. I think we really do have a guy, and I think the sky's the limit. It's probably going to take some time to build, unlike Baited, because we have the instant Keemstar. But I'll tell you right now, I think we're better, and we're going to beat them eventually.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's a good way to feel. It's your own podcast.
I don't think every episode is going to sound like that either. I think there's going to be times when. Like a lot of people saying Dave is the new Tommy. He's not. He's nothing like me. And he doesn't have to play some role. There may be like topics that he's more interested than I am.
I love that the whole idea of someone being a new somebody is so fucking stupid. Like you're just replacing a character with a new person. Like I don't know.
Well, I don't know. We're three different
Dave's
people.
Gonna be Dave.
We're gonna have different opinions, and I'm pretty abrasive. And the reason I wasn't as abrasive because on Baited is because it would be stupid to have 3 abrasive people. It just wouldn't be very entertaining, and that's always my excuse. Anyway, but I was interested in what you heard about it, and I hope you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you guys have the Clown, who's got the best podcast voice on the planet, so that'll at least get you somewhere.
Yeah, well, we're really happy to be. I mean, he's the leader of the whole thing, and he's doing a really fantastic job. All right, buddy, I gotta roll the frig out. I think you did a spectacular job. Would you agree?
Yeah, man. I just was fun shooting the shit with you on a little live stream here. I appreciate you having me on, and I look forward to.
I tell you what. I told this to the other guys offline. I'll tell you online, and I'll basically tell the other guys that do the other YouTubers. If there's something I broadcast Sunday through Thursday. If there's something that you got a hard on to talk about, you got my private Skype now. If you got something big, and he's like, you know what, I want to spit it, because Clown comes here and he uses this kind of thing for event. Just
This is
hit
like
me
a
up,
form to
maybe
get
I'll
shit off your
surprise
chest or
everybody
whatever.
with Leon Lush or a Zap Tie or a, God knows who else. It's something really.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Please get Clown to say pussy for me. Oh, thank you. I think it's the only thing I do, because I'm having a little problem with Streamlabs. Am I logged in? Focus on Streamlabs. Launch. No, I can't get in there. Thank you guys so much for the donations. Don't think I don't appreciate them. This is not a game stream. It's talk show. I can't read all of them, especially when Leon's talking, but that does not mean for a minute that I do not appreciate the streams. I would never want you guys to think that. So have a good one. Thank you very much, Leon, for being on this.
Thank you, guys.
Tremendous
Take
interview.
care.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Love phones tomorrow, everybody. Should be good. See you.
You know what
I mean? Like, I just don't like when someone's
Real talk, I got you, my nigga. I'ma show these niggas how we do it. Listen, I said we dropped so many bombs, you think we came from Iraq. See the kid get the biz when it's time to attack. Don't roger that. Cause what if